You feel guilty when you rest. You find it hard to ask for help even when you are drowning. Does it sound familiar? If yes, you are not alone. This is so common, especially for us women between 30s and 40-year-old. The Superwoman Syndrome. Overfunctioning is not sustainable. Here's the truth. You were not born to be everything to everyone. Welcome back to the second episode in our series, Redefining Having It All. Last week, we talked about the burnout behind the badge of honor, how the drive to do everything can silently erode our joy, our health, our overall well-being, and ultimately our connection to ourselves. If you haven't listened to episode number 1 of this series, I strongly encourage you to do so because today we are going to dig deeper. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are naming the pressure many of us carry but rarely question. The Superwoman Syndrome. In a nutshell, the Superwoman Syndrome is that we have to be exceptional at everything that we do. That our value, either internal value or perceived value, is measured by our capacity to manage, to nurture, to lead, organize, remember, support, solve problems, smile, and never break a sweat. But here's the truth. You were not born to be everything to everyone. Let me repeat. You were not born to be everything to everyone. As I was doing my research and that I came across the Superwoman Syndrome, all of us, we have done it. We have been there. Okay? There is nothing new about it. But I didn't know it has a such name. So I started to dig deeper and look at, where does the Superwoman Syndrome come from? The term Superwoman Syndrome was coined by author Marjorie Henson-Shevitz in the 90s to describe women striving to excel in all areas of life, career, home, relationships, appearance, often to the point of physical and emotional breakdown. Fast forward to 2025, the expectations have only intensified. According to McKinsey and Lenin.org's Women's in the Workplace report, 79% of women say they are always on, mentally juggling work and home responsibilities even after hours. And now, the World Health Organization classifies burnout as an occupational phenomenon, and women, especially working mothers, are at higher risk. And as you know, we are not only managing workloads, we also manage mental loads, remembering birthdays, organizing school calendars, keeping track of groceries, emotional check-ins, and so much more. You may be wondering, what does overfunctioning look like? And here are a few examples of what Superwoman Syndrome may look like in your day-to-day life. You feel guilty when you rest. This one was a big one for me. You find it hard to ask for help even when you are drowning. You constantly overcommit and then resent everyone, including yourself. You get praise for how much you can handle, but inside you are exhausted. I can checkmark that one as well. Does it sound familiar? If yes, you are not alone. This is so common, especially for us women between 30s and 40-year-old, when career demand peaks while caregivers' responsibility often grow. But overfunctioning is not sustainable. I will say it again. Overfunctioning is not sustainable. It leads to chronic stress, relationship strain, and emotional detachment from our own needs. There is nothing positive about being overfunctioning. Another factor that is contributing a lot to the Superwoman Syndrome is multitasking. There are numerous research and studies out there that speak to the fact that multitasking is a myth. Even for us women, we believe we can do multiple things at the same time. Are we treating those tasks with equal quality? That's a question. If the response is no, then are we really multitasking? Or are we just simply spreading ourselves thin, thinking that we are doing it right? Here is a reality check. Being multitasking doesn't mean that you are more productive. It doesn't make you more productive. In fact, research from Stanford University shows that frequent multitaskers perform worse on tasks requiring focus and memory and are more likely to feel mentally drained. When you are switching from work email to parenting duties to friendship check-ins all in one breath, your brain isn't balancing. It's burning out. So while society may celebrate the Superwoman image, the science says she is running on fumes. So now that we know more about it, how do we change it? How can we finally let her go? That Superwoman. Just let her go. Easier said than done, I know. Letting go of Superwoman Syndrome starts with permission. Simply give yourself the permission to not be everything to everyone. You don't need to fix, rescue, organize, plan, and perform all at once. You don't have to. And most importantly, you don't need to earn your worth through overextending. So here are 3 powerful, subtle but powerful shifts that you can start implement today. Number 1, notice your triggers. What people or situations make you feel like you have to over-deliver or prove your value? That's your cue to pause and ask, who am I doing this for? Number 2, start a drop list. And this one echo to some of the tips that I share in the previous episode of this series. If you haven't listened to it, I strongly encourage you to listen to it because there is a continuity in all the episodes. So you can start practicing, shifting, making, those little change as you listen, and you can see the change for yourself. You can see the progress for yourself. So now let's go back to our practical tips. As I was saying, tip number 2, start a drop list. Forget the endless to-do list for a second. What are 3 things you are choosing not to do this week? Write them down. Let them go. I like that. Instead of doing a to-do list, or as we do a to-do list, because I love to-do lists, let's be honest here. But how about having a not to-do list to help make our life easier? Love that. And tip number 3, practice the enoughness mantra. Every morning this week, say this aloud. I am not here to prove, I am here to be. And repeat until you believe it. If you're ready to take these insights beyond this episode and start integrating them into your daily life, I have created the Standout Journal. Inside, you will find weekly prompts and exercises designed to help you define your vision, boost your energy, deepen your relationship, and show up with intention both at work and in life. Just click the link in the episode description to start your journey. You have already taken the first step by tuning into the Standout podcast, so now let's build the momentum together. If there is one thing out of this episode that I would like you to remember, is that enough is not a finish line. It's not the end. It's a birthright. You are enough right now as you are. And you don't have to overextend yourself in order to prove your worth. It's my hope that you enjoy the mini series where we are redefining the concept of having it all. In the next episode, episode number 3 of this mini series, we will dive into redefining success in your own terms. Not based on what society is expecting of you, not based on what your community, your family is expecting of you, but based on what you want to be and who you were meant to be. If you are at a point in your life when you feel that you are disconnected from the goals you once chased or craving a softer, more soul-aligned version of success, you won't want to miss it. But for now and for this week, let's normalize choosing rest, joy and boundaries over pressure and performance. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback helps us to continue grow and bring more valuable content. Until next time, bye.